I'm going to break one of the most important fundamental rules of broadcasting. I use the term broadcasting because I'm talking about radio, podcasting, even your TV as well. And that is, don't make the viewer or the listener or you feel that you've missed out on something, that you've been left out. Because that's the worst thing to do. Classic example, you put the radio on and as the DJ or the presenter comes on, they're laughing. But they don't know what you don't know what they're laughing about. Something happened while a song was playing, or a commercial was playing, or during something happened that you didn't hear, and they're laughing about it, and then they won't tell you what it's about. And what's even worse is when they say off air. Never do that. Golden rule. Don't leave me out. It goes back to that whole theory of this is a one-on-one intimate communication, an intimate relationship. It's the same. I'll give you this is the analogy. You're sitting in a coffee shop with your friend over a cup of coffee, face to face, you know each other. And you withdraw some information. Mark, you'll never guess what happened to me yesterday with my mother-in-law. No, I can't tell you. Can't tell you. It's the same thing. It's very annoying. Extremely annoying. So I'm going to break that rule. Maybe, I don't know what, maybe it's cathartic, maybe just to give you an idea what goes on behind the scenes. So I've got 2 iMacs desktop. He's so rich. No. It was the one iMac was a real amazing special on Take-A-Lot. And the other iMac was given as a gift. Somebody was immigrating, and for some reason, they just gave it to a friend of ours, and she gave it to us. Thank you. That's a 2009 model, which I'm using now, which works better than my 2017 model. Why is that? Why is that, you ask yourself? If you learn nothing from today, learn this. Don't get a desktop, especially in South Africa, with load shedding. So what's happened with all the load shedding that we had over the years, it damaged the hard drive. So this computer is this one is slow. The other one is going backwards. The other one is stuck in 1982. The other one is stuck in 1982 talking to Helen Suzman about her trip to Robben Island. That's how bad the other one is. So I made the mistake of using the other one yesterday. And there's a thing called Photo Booth that I'm recording this on. I did a lovely recording for 20 minutes. I spoke for 20 minutes. I thought it was great. Yada. Covered things. Press stop, and automatically it saves it on the right-hand corner. It saves, and then you click on it, and then you go to the file at the top, and you save it. No mess, no fuss. 20 minutes, yada. Didn't work. I spent the rest of the day, I did this in the morning at about I can't remember when, like midday, maybe it was midday already. It's a Sunday. I get up late. Lost forever. And Damon, just do the same. No, I can't do that. There might be 1 or 2 things that are covered in gone forever. So now I've left you possibly frustrated that you've missed out on something. So now, do you understand now why it's a bad thing to do? I must never leave you out. But I just thought I'd share that with you. Just the frustration. I was so upset yesterday. I was so upset, and I thought to myself, Damon, you're never going to get over this. You're going to be so upset for the rest of the day. You're never going to get over this, and you're going to lose geisig for doing another episode. Well, as they say, time heals. And by last night, I was ready to roll, but then too dark. So here I am in the morning, Monday morning. What's it? It's 8:45. 8:45. I don't know. The light is not perfect. What I've done is I've opened all the windows around me. No point putting the light on because that's useless. I think this is okay. So that's what happens. Another maybe possibly interesting behind the scenes thing is that I'm thinking that it might very well happen. I'm thinking of doing interviews, having like guests on this podcast. And I've only done it before you may Steve Marks, my friend Steve Marks, very right-wing Zionist. So that's entertaining. But once in a while, man, I think I should have him again soon. We haven't had a tussle for quite a while. And then my wife Bernice and I used to do a show together, Keeping Up with the Kalvaris. It was a hit. It really was good. And I've tried to revisit it, and just not the same. I don't know. For some reason, it doesn't gel. Bernice tries to take over. But anyway, that's besides the point. Point is, what I'm trying to say is, so I haven't had guests before, and the question is why, Damon? Why? Primary reason is that I like just talking, and the guest might be bad quality, might not be good. And also, I thought to myself, I'm not going to it might not be so easy to get like sort of well-known people or even famous people. But then I noticed over the last year or two, other people with their little startup podcasts with 10 listeners or 50 or 75 viewers, they seem to get guests, so why don't I do it? But here's another reason, and this is the most important one, and this is interesting. You may not know this, or maybe you've suspected it, but most radio presenters are, okay, maybe I should just contextualize it, in South Africa that I'm aware of, in my experience. Most DJs, presenters, they need to do an interview. They need to have someone to talk to. It's a crutch. They can't do this by themselves. They have to have either if it's a talk radio show, they have to have a caller, they have to have a guest. They can't just talk, which is ridiculous. It's ridiculous because yes, you have to have a certain amount of talent, but not necessarily. Yes, a certain, but prepare for the show. So say you're doing a 9 a.m. till midday show. Come in at 6 a.m. Come in at 7 a.m. You've got no excuse in today's in this day and age with technology, social media, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. The content is sit at the computer and type out stuff, make little points. You've got no excuse. I'll never forget. This was a real experience, an eye-opener, many years ago. So Tim Modise, you may remember Tim Modise. Tim Modise is still around. I think he's got a podcast even. I've seen comments from him, perhaps maybe on LinkedIn, or maybe I saw it on X, which used to be called Twitter/X. Anyway, he was very well known in his day. He was at Radio Metro FM now. Then he was at 702. I just called it 702. It was called 702 Talk Radio. Then it was Talk Radio 702. Just at 702 community. Well, a talk radio station in Gauteng, South Africa. So Tim's got this show 9 till midday, and he's got his regular producer. They've been together for many years. The one day she can't be there, she's sick or whatever, so they asked me to fill in, just to not do a hell of a lot, just to come in and help with take the calls. It's you call the call screener. You're also a producer theoretically, but you're a call screener. You sit down and people come in. Hello, I want to talk to Tim, and you take down their name. So I'll never forget the look on Tim Modise's face, the fear, Bambi, like deer stuck in the headlights. The fear that I wasn't putting callers on straight away, or as fast as he was used to. So the criteria that his normal producer used was, if you are able to use the phone, you have a pulse, and you make some audible sound out of your mouth, that qualifies you for a caller. Not on my watch. No. You better be clear. Your line better be clear. I better be able to hear what you're saying. You better be audible. You better know what you're saying. You better have a good point, or a point that's interesting. Even if it's a really stupid point, maybe that stupid point could be still entertaining. It could be completely irrelevant, your point, but still entertaining. So, listen, my criteria are not that stringent. Some of the worst callers, in my experience, make the best callers, because it's the skill of the presenter that turns that bad caller into a good caller, because they play with that caller. They'll tease the caller. They'll make the caller do stuff. Like, for example, a caller comes on and talk is just going off tangent completely. And then the presenter says, "Hey, Sharon, so what are you doing today, Sharon? You just called in. You're very angry with me. You want to talk about this and that, your municipal bill? I mean, how boring is that? My municipal bill. She's been overcharged because the value of her property is overinflated and her rates are terrible. That's what she wants to talk to me about. Sharon, where do you live? Hey, Sharon, what do you do? Hey, oh, you're married. Oh, your husband's cheating. Next second, she's talking about her husband's cheating on her. Starting from a bad caller to a good caller. You see what I did there? You know, the most successful person to do this is Howard Stern. He is the most successful radio DJ / presenter ever in history of radio. He's still around. If you're in Canada or the United States, you can subscribe to Sirius and get him there. It's $14 a month. But anyway, in South Africa, you download a BitTorrent. What is a BitTorrent? Basically it's a tool, a software tool that allows you to download stuff from a website onto your downloads on your computer. Then you can transfer those downloads onto your memory stick. From your memory stick, you stuff it into your radio. Boom, you got Howard Stern in your car in South Africa from New York. Not live. It's wonderful. But where was I? So very often you will hear a bad caller go on, and the presenter just lets them drone on, and it's just terrible. So that happens. A bad caller comes on. Deal with it. Do something with it. You can create. That's my message here. So, what am I going to do? So, I thought to myself, it's risky. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll only do this. I'm going to try and carry on with this podcast. I want to try and do one, maybe two episodes a week. And then slowly I want to bring in guests. But initially, I said to myself, it's got to be somebody well known or famous. And I thought to myself, then this morning I woke up and I changed my mind. Thought, you know what? I'm going to do something different. Turns out it's not that different. I thought to myself, hey, I'll come on here and I'll ask, hey, do you want to be a guest on my show? You are a listener. You listening to me now, well, hopefully you are. Watching me. Maybe you want to be a guest. You could be a guest on this show. And I thought, oh, well, that's original. Then I went to my new friend, I would say this is my best friend at the moment, besides maybe my wife. ChatGPT. Or is it GT? I get called ChatGPT. I asked the question. Oh, that's my dog. Oh, okay. Well, there's the authenticity of this episode. I do have a dog. Well, two dogs, but only one that barks. The older one, she's shame. She's not well. She's on her way out. But she keeps on coming back. Eh? You think you're about to put her down, and next second she seems to have a second lease on life. But anyway, I'll talk about that another time. Thank you, Joey. Now you're on my... Anyway, we move on. So I went to ChatGPT and I asked the question, are there any podcasts or have there been podcasts in the past or present, you know what I mean, that have just invited listeners or anybody that's listening to be a guest? And the answer was yes. That's been done many, many times. But maybe I'll try that out. We'll see. Maybe if you want to, we do it on Zoom. I'll do it on Zoom. Yeah, God forbid you're not coming into my house. God forbid. So Damon Kalvari at gmail.com. Yeah, drop me an email. We can do that. I think it's not a bad idea. If you've not heard of ChatGPT, you're missing out. I know you meet maybe one of those people where you think, oh, this is a fad, this is something I don't know anything about it. I'm not interested. It's just it's so helpful. It's so useful. You can't believe it. It's just what's a classic example? I want a recipe. It's easier for me just to go to ChatGPT and say, and say recipe for a dressing for a couscous salad with tomato and onion and cucumber. A dressing recipe. It's quicker to do that than to schlep to my file. We got a file in the kitchen full of recipe. It's quicker. And the ChatGPT just gives it to me, bullet point. It's fantastic. It changes everything. I use it all the time. Yes, there are so many other functions to it that just there are things that ChatGPT does that I probably will never even get into. Like, I'll give you a good example, and I'm on LinkedIn quite a lot now. LinkedIn. I dumped Facebook. I dumped Twitter. I'll go into that another time. I've moved on. So I'm only on ChatGPT and YouTube. And I might publish this podcast on Spotify. Because I think not everybody is going to sit and look at you, Damon. Even look, you're in the kitchen, you're making yourself breakfast, you just have something on but you're not watching necessarily. So you can do that if this is a YouTube video or a TikTok video, but maybe Spotify is just more user-friendly. So I think I'll put this on Spotify as well. Why not? Why not? Okay, now I've completely lost my train of thought. So I'm on LinkedIn. And some personnel agent type person, a human resources type person is busy saying, I called or emailed an applicant for a job, and this applicant responded in a very strange way. The applicant said, please tell me more about this job. I don't know anything about this job. In other words, so what happened was this person had applied literally to hundreds, maybe even thousands of different jobs, but that can't really be done by a human. So there is actually a ChatGPT or AI, I think it's ChatGPT, where you can just make it send out your resume or your application to automatically just apply for lots of jobs without you even knowing about it. So this HR person will say, I'm disqualifying this person straight away because they're obviously not serious about the job. And I said to myself, maybe this HR person, maybe I agree with them, that he or she makes a good point. The person can't really be what's the word I'm looking for? Committed to this job. But then I thought, hang on. And then I looked at some of the comments. I don't always look at comments because people really talk. Somebody made a very good comment. Maybe that's unfair because the rejection rate of applications is like 99%, maybe even higher, 99.9%. Application rates are so high, it makes sense to actually use this ChatGPT application automated thing. Not a bad. Maybe one's got to keep an open mind. Just if you go back to 1993, if someone said that to you, what job are you referring to? That makes sense. But now we're 2025, ChatGPT, that's what you got to take that into account. Speaking of ChatGPT, I don't know if you've noticed, I'm sure you're on YouTube. Well, obviously you're on YouTube, right? I know there's algorithms that will send things to you because of your profile and what you visited. So maybe this just applies to me or mainly me. I'm getting this advert, but it's on every single time I want to look at a video almost. Are you over 50 and you're not, there's chances are you're not using ChatGPT correctly. Huh? Or chances are you're not using AI properly. Okay, I can't remember where the advert says ChatGPT. You're 50 years old, you're not using it properly. You know what? Let me not use it properly. Just, I'm getting this Bitcoin vibe. Stop pushing, How can you make money? If you using ChatGPT, you're not running your business optimally. You're not making enough money because you're not using ChatGPT properly. Kilschmeinen. Come on. Leave me alone. I was right, but I still don't understand Bitcoin. To me, it's like, if you have to explain something to me, I still don't understand. Chances are it's weird. That's what I'm saying. I was going to talk to you about the New York Times strands. Maybe I'll just quickly mention it. Something to keep in mind. So I never got on the Wordle bandwagon. Did I feel left out? A little bit, but not really. Yeah, you want to do your Wordle. You want to join this Wordle world, Team Wordle, Planet Wordle. Okay, I'll be honest with you. I admit I don't even understand Wordle. I don't even know. I've tried to look at it. I don't know what it is. So Wordle, I think it started with the New York Times. So there's a new thing called strands, STRANDS. So you go to the Google, you go NYT, which stands for New York Times, NYT strands, and it is. I'm going to open your world here if you've never heard of it. It is so cool. In my experience, it actually was a bit detrimental. It caused me a little bit of anxiety and maybe a bit of depression. I don't want to use the word depression because I just couldn't do it. So it's a puzzle of letters, and you make words out of it, strands of words, and it gives you a theme, and the theme is supposed to give you an idea what the words are. So it was May the 4th recently, or yesterday. So you know that thing with Star Wars. Star Wars says, "May the Force be with you." So they do May the 4th be with you. So the theme was Star Wars. So that was easier. So the word was planet, empire, that kind of thing. Galaxy. That was the easiest one so far. But there's been ones that I sit there, I just can't. It's depressing. You can sit there for 2 hours and it's a waste of time. But then you can do hints. So you click on hints, and then it'll highlight some letters, and then that helps. I started doing that. Is it cheating? Perhaps it is. But I thought to myself, it's good for the brain. It's good for the brain. I've noticed my brain isn't working the way it used to. I'm forgetting names of people. I'm forgetting things like my wife tells me to do something and I forget it. So maybe it's a good thing to work that brain. I don't know. Try it out. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I was going to tell you a story, another background story in radio, but now I've mentioned it, so I have to say it. Then I'm leaving you in spilkers, and I'm making you feel left out. I don't want to do that. I've got feedback comments that people like it when I tell radio stories. It's very popular. They enjoy it. So this one's a little bit. You want to use the word poignant or sad or sentimental? So when I was at 5FM, target audience 16 to 25-year-olds, young people that are not necessarily married, people that don't have children, people who are at school, people who are at university, they're single, they're jolly. The one time, one of my favorite people, Johnny Clegg, famous musician, like, he is amazing. When he passed away, I was so devastated, and I'm still devastated. And I don't think enough was made of his passing. There should have been a much bigger deal made of it. He wanted to be a guest on Gareth Cliff's show on 5FM. And I felt terrible because I loved him. I said I declined. I declined. Because he's going to start talking about his children. It wasn't our target market, and I felt really bad. But then years later, We moved to Cliff Central, which is the podcast platform. It's now called The Real Network. Gareth Cliff still has his show if you're interested on YouTube, but you can also, on all podcast platforms, you can find it. Then we brought Johnny Clegg in. So I felt better. Because, with Cliff Central, the target audience is much wider and varied, and it's from 16 to, well, at the time we thought it was 16 to 35 to 40, people who are tech savvy, people who are early adapters, which was true at the time. But things have changed. I think podcasts, it's become more mainstream. I think now it's like 12-year-olds are listening to podcasts up to people in their 80s. My in-laws, they listen to podcasts. Well, it's strictly, I suppose it's like a recording of something. I don't know whether it's maybe you can call it a podcast. Yeah. No, I just thought I don't know, maybe that wasn't so interesting in hindsight. I don't know, you win some, you lose some. Anyway, we'll do this again soon.